This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use coupon code Southgate to get 30% off free shipping and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Phil Perich, and you are listening to Vacation the Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Yeah, whatever. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone. He's the guy. He's got a sweatshirt. Yeah, that's how you know he's different, and he's a blonde hair.
I love that intro. Sums it up perfectly. Hey, that was a quick month. Welcome back to the Ultimate Spider Cast. That's right, it's the Scarlet Spider episode. I am Phil. That means I am joined, by that footed Avenger himself, Boston's own clone.
Yes, I am the clone of Matt Kona. Matt Clona.
And that dark Avenger. I won't make any Batman references. Priest of Conchu, Australia's own.
Hey, hello everyone. It's Ray, also known as a Skrull. So, here I am.
If you look in Quantum Zone, yes, that's our house scroll. All right.
Power and responsibility.
That's right. So, talking some, for the day, current Scarlet Spider. No more origins or prequels. But, yes, it was the 90s, so foil covers on these people. Yeah.
Green foil for this one.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Ray, this was also a flip book, so this was this was where they first printed the first half of that Spider-Man Lost Years #0.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's getting grown in the tank, and then Gwen and the Gwen clone and the Jack will come after Ben Reilly.
Yeah, sort of picking where we left off in the first sort of appearance, right? From was it first episode we did 2 months ago?
Yeah. Oh yes. But yeah, this was a weird time in Spider-Man history because, Aunt May's had a stroke or whatever. That's what brought Ben Reilly back to town.
Yeah,
Peter's kind of dark because he thought his parents had come back from the dead, but they turned out to be androids sent by his friend Harry Osborn, who went insane and became the Green Goblin again and then died. So
he's dealing with a lot.
So between losing the parents again, now he thinks Aunt May's dying.
Things are rocky. Are things rocky with MJ as well, or?
Not really, but he's like,
no, okay.
He's just like retreated into himself. So she's like,
oh, that's right.
Why aren't you coming home? And hey, why am I throwing up all the time?
That's right. And he's also kind of just known as the Spider, right?
Yeah, he called himself the Spider. Yeah. It was it might have been the month before this. Yeah, I think it was Spider-Man 50. They just show him. He just came home long enough to eat. I mean, there's food scattered all over the kitchen. He's like, Parker would civilized. I am the Spider. And he's just like crouching at the kitchen table, eating an apple or something.
Wow,
the grim and gritty 90s people.
Yeah.
So the issue, I think it was a Spectacular Spider-Man that led up to this because it starts in Web 117. He had just beaten the crap out of the Scorpion, and that issue ended with Peter talking to Aunt May in her hospital room, and then he sees Spider-Man swing by and everyone's like, what's going on? Yeah, and he races to the Peter Parker comes face to face with Spider-Man, where this issue picks up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rooftop confrontation to start it out.
I love it. I love all the flashback stuff we've done so far. It's Ben Reilly has long hair and everything, but it's look, their first face-to-face encounter, he looks exactly like Peter, haircut and everything.
Yeah,
I know, especially if he's going to visit Aunt May.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, true.
I guess he's trying to blend in, so people see him, they just think he's Peter. Okay, I buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a whole all those little vignettes that led up to Web of Spider-Man as well. There's
Oh yeah.
there's a bit of time that passes, and he's like looking at Peter's life, and I guess between then he kind of decided to scrub up and then visit Aunt May and all that. So.
Oh yeah, because there was all these mysterious phone calls and like they're like shadowy figure, and I was thinking one he was even wearing like his Peter's like high school ring. I was like, did he steal the ring before he left town? Or like, what the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of believable because I mean, who wears their high school ring? Actually, I do know a lot of people I've met. Like, you're still wearing your high school ring? You're 50 years old. Okay, all right.
You know, they're Flash Thompson. They peaked in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Peter comes face to face with Ben. Oh, look, page 2. He's wearing that. I think that's the class ring he's wearing.
There it is. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, that was one way that you can really identify him from Peter Parker in some of the previous things. You know, he's got that ring on.
Peter just like starts attacking. He's like, who? He's like, who are you? Another dimensional doppelganger? You know, because Infinity War.
Yeah.
State of the art replicoid or the chameleon himself.
Yeah. Take your pick. There's plenty of choices. Yeah.
Or Peter's like, Peter's in a dark place. He's like, maybe you're just a twisted figment of my imagination.
Yeah, he's pretty dark, isn't he? He's kind of really retreated. So, knowing his villains as well, anything could really.
Yeah. And he is in a dark place. So he's like, yeah, I'm in the mood to beat on Peter Parker.
Without hesitation.
Exactly.
Throwing down. The spider is not to be trifled with. Yeah.
I kind of like this art as well. I thought originally it was Mark Bagley, but it's some guys, Steve Butler and Andy Emberman.
He did some stuff in the 90s. That's what I was going to say. Like Bagley, my favorite Spider-Man artist. Yeah, Steve Butler does like a pretty good.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real good. I love this art. Yeah.
But I love Ben's. It's like Peter's like, don't call me that.
Yeah, I'm the Spider.
I'm Batman. But seriously, it's like, now he's all dark. He's a spider, and then it's like, oh, hey, let's go to because after that scene, they go to Ravencroft Hospital, which they're kind of bringing back the Marvel comics these days. But I'm like, okay,
oh, they are, yeah.
Okay, Arkham Asylum, I see you there.
Yeah.
And can we just pause for a bit and talk about this guy, Traveler, Judas Traveler? What are you guys?
He's a doctor, Ray. Come on. Yeah. He looks like a man out of time. He's sort of Western vibe. He's got a cowl, the weird little necklace, and multiple belts.
I would get some rock star vibe off him. I don't know. Maybe it's just the entourage. I don't.
Yeah. It really exudes the 90s, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's like the trench coat, cloak, or whatever it is he's got, and
because even if Traveler doesn't set off alarm bells with Dr. Kafka or anything, it's just like, oh, look at this entourage. I mean, for God's sake, the one woman's in cutoff short, Daisy Dukes. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Dr. Traveler, I don't know what you're up to.
Yeah, they're interesting characters, these other ones as well.
Yeah.
When I say interesting, I mean, I don't know. I didn't find him that interesting, but
I mean, Traveler is the child we don't talk about. By the end of the Clone Saga, he's gone. I mean, they never mention this guy. I don't think he's ever come back into the comics since the Clone Saga. Yes.
He stopped traveling. Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of spearheads the whole thing, right?
Well, what's
totally
weird? What's weird? Because I think NBC. No, I think he was he was created by DeMatteis, I think, J.M. DeMatteis, and then I don't know. because it seemed like during the Clone Saga he had plans for him, like he was maybe this being with like godlike power. And then I guess when DeMatteis left, like
they just said, "Well,
yeah, Traveler didn't really show up until like the end of the Clone Saga, and then I think what was it, DeFalco or someone was just like, oh yeah, he's just a doctor with like these like psychic abilities and stuff. He can do fusions and stuff. It's like, oh okay,
yeah,
it's basically he's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm quite happy that he isn't. He's not. I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, because
did find him that interesting.
Because he's not like your typical Spider-Man villain. Because like I said, while DeMatteis was here, it just seemed like they were trying to paint him as like this powerful, level threat. And it's like that's not a typical Spider-Man villain.
Nah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they set up that whole thing, and then back to the Peter and Ben fight, and
there's a cool little bit here where they're fighting, and I think he knocks over some canisters or some tanks, and then you get all these warped reflections of Peter, and
I love that.
Just kind of symbolic.
Yeah,
all these faces looking back at him. Who is he really?
Well, yeah, he pulls Peter's mask off. He's like, "Face the truth. I'm your clone." And he's like, "The Jackal's Pawn." Last seen in Amazing Spider-Man 149 through 151.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like kicks Peter into the wall and takes off.
Yeah.
And then, then we see Judas Traveler like basically wandering the halls of Ravencroft, going through Spider-Man's villains.
Really well drawn Carnage here. I love the way he's drawn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is sort of like Carnage, like when he first debuted in Amazing Spider-Man. That's what he looks like. I think this is because this is picking up after he was first contained, right? He hadn't had that many storylines.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah. He hadn't been in. Well, there was his first appearance. Then there was Maximum Carnage.
Maximum Carnage.
Oh, this is after Maximum Carnage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, because that was before the whole clone thing. Yeah. Yes, because after a couple months in the Clone Saga, we'll get Maximum Clonage.
What?
Yeah.
There's how many parts is that? I think it's like, is it 8 parts or something? Well, there's an Alpha and Omega at the end too, but yes, instead of Maximum Carnage, it's Maximum Clonage. Get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, Ray, you're in for a treat. Sarcastically. But yeah, I mean, we get Carnage and his host Cletus Cassidy looking all Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, and he's not as he's been re-envisaged now in the Kate's run. Total badass in Absolute Carnage. Here is still a little dialed down. I mean, he's quite powerful still, but nowhere near.
Yeah, his relationship with the symbiote is not quite as. He doesn't realize the depth of the power. He's just still a crazy man being taken over by it and just killing and.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you see like them painting Judas Traveler like this big, powerful entity, and it's like, oh, even your sin fears me. This alien creature even fears me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going through Chameleon and Shriek and then Carnage and
Johnny Blaze. No, that's Kane, right? Yeah.
No, that's that's just the stereotypical. That's one of Judas Traveler's.
Oh
yeah.
Boone,
right.
Isn't it?
Oh right, yeah.
Boone, I think, yeah.
Boone.
Yeah, it looks like Nomad.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
A lot of 90s. It seems like in the 90s they're like, oh, we needed to look for this guy. Just give him the long hair, the glasses, the treasure coat,
and the glasses. Yeah.
Oh my lord! And then the girl in the cutoff shorts is Medea. Wait, so Tyler Perry's playing? Wait.
But she's actually a bit of a bloodthirsty one, isn't she? Later on.
Boone and
She's the one that wants to do it. Yeah.
Oh Lord, and boy hostage John Jameson. But yeah, Traveler and his henchmen start taking over Ravencroft, and
Yeah, Chakra has a bit of a role as well. She kind of plants, or she gives information, and she plants the seeds in Riley's mind, I think, as well, about taking over Peter's life.
well, first the challenge. She issues the challenge to Peter. Dr. Judas Traveler, he's taking control of Ravencroft. He'll kill the inmates unless you stop him. But if you stop him, he's going to release them all.
Yeah, that's
I see you, Batman Nightfall. Bane for inmates of Arkham. I see you. So Peter swings off the Ravencroft, and I guess Ben heard the whole thing. He's like, let me pull out this Spider-Man. Look, I think that in your why did he use that in the Lost Years?
Yeah.
Because in issue 0, we even saw him taking the costume. Well, I guess, again, he's always like, I don't want to make trouble for Peter.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, Mary Jane, Aunt Anna with a still comatose Aunt May.
Yeah, there's a little secondary nice subplot there with Mary Jane and her responsibilities, I guess, with Aunt May, but also with her relatives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her relatives who live in Pittsburgh. Thank you.
I like that. Multiple storylines, but sort of under the same umbrella of responsibility and who you are to other people and what you are.
Yeah.
Then despite, Peter makes it to Ravencroft, and Judas Traveler basically has a force field around the Ravencroft, still letting Spider-Man in. And again, as if we didn't read this the first time, he's like, either save them from me, but if you do, I'm going to release, all these dangerous criminals out into the street. So Peter,
what a dilemma.
Yes, Peter walks in and the door slams shut, and that's the end of part 1. And then,
so what is Traveler's, what's his motivation? What is his end game? He wants to analyze the mentally ill, right? The psychopathic.
Yeah, I guess.
But he finds some interest in Spider-Man. Or he finds an interest actually in him and his clone, which I think that's probably made it more interesting for him. But
I mean, they never fully fleshed him out. Like I said, with once Demetrius leaves, no one knows what to do with this guy. But it's just, I don't know. They always painted him as like he's studying the human condition, I guess.
Yeah.
It does seem like he's studying psychopaths, and he wants to see how a hero reacts to being put into this psychotic situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
And plus, they were ramping up at this is the beginning of the Clone Saga. They're ramping up the reveal eventually that Ben Reilly, I think, is Spider-Man. I think they had that idea at this point, so it's like.
Right.
So it's like, oh, look, the real Spider-Man's not acting crazy like the other one, like his clone. But yeah, I mean, you see in flashbacks, he's picked the name Ben Reilly, but like right now in the story, like no one knows he goes by Ben Reilly. So it's like the clone, Spider-Man and his clone.
Yeah.
But yes, part 2 is an Amazing Spider-Man 394. Again, with my favorite Spider-Man artist, Mark Bagley.
Oh, Bagley, yeah. Beautiful art.
Yeah, I felt spoiled. This was the first comic that I had a subscription to, and it was around this time. And yeah, I love this art. Always will have a close personal spot in my heart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all 4 of the books we're covering this month are from October 1994.
Yep.
But yeah, issue 2 opens up with Ben Reilly just on the rooftop, longing for the life that Peter has. and then just thinking, oh, I'm gonna make sure Aunt May's okay, and then leave town.
Yeah, I mean the conflict because it's the New York City is such a part of who Peter Parker is, and Ben Reilly's got all those memories. So just staring out at it after being displaced from it from so long, but still feeling that connection is pretty interesting.
Yeah. And then
we get into the Traveler again.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
yeah.
It's I guess on page 3 it's saying Ravencroft is up in Westchester County, so it's like, where the hell are the X-Men? Big spectacle of himself. You don't think Xavier wouldn't be picking this up or anything?
Yeah. We find the mansions just next door, but it's just well, they didn't do anything. Well, they're hiding again, dead.
They
again.
were in what if they're in the training room?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I like seeing sorry.
No, I was saying when we get to who Judas Traveler sees, I think that because I was reading a lot of the Spider-Man titles back then, and the one that I probably favored the least was Spectacular Spider-Man. I still read it, but I just felt like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like at this time, I was more a fan of Web. I mean, Amazing was my top, and then I kind of. In Web of I would read more often. Then I would sometimes read Spider-Man, the regular one, but I was a big McFarlane fan, so I read it less after he left. But Spectacular Spider-Man, like some books had the same villains over and over again, and I just felt like every time I picked up a Spectacular one, I was like, ugh, another Vermin issue? Come on, what's up with this?
Yeah.
And then Vermin makes a rare Amazing appearance.
Well, he was one of he was created by JMD Mateus, so you know how some writers favor certain characters they
bring there
because he originally created them in a Captain America issue, and then once he jumped on Spider-Man, he brings him in the Spider, especially the Kraven's Last Hunt, that class.
Oh yeah.
There.
Yeah, I thought Spectacular was. I mean, all those 4 titles, Matt, are very strong. I think my favorite would be Web of and Amazing around this time. But Spectacular was one of the first Spider-Man titles that I collected. So Sal Buscema, very iconic for me. I don't know. For me, just personally, I'd rate it above the adjectiveless Spider-Man.
It could have been for sure. I mean, it's your opinion. It definitely was. But
Ray. But no, I mean, I enjoyed
it. Adjectivist was also like the new kid on the block at that point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed all the titles, but I think it's just that Sal Buscema's art is so different than the other 3 this month. He has a more old. I mean, he had been around the longest, so his style was more old school and. Well, I mean, we'll get to it as well, but actually, I thought the third issue, the third part for me, the art was the least, my least favorite out of all 4 issues. So but the first 2 were the strongest for sure. I mean, I like all of them, but I just think it's like Buscema's just seems so out of place. I mean, the Spider-Man part 3, the art wasn't your favorite. It was just like I didn't think it was such a big takeoff from the first 2 parts.
Yes,
the art part 4,
Yeah. But I mean, you see Vermin, as you say, very, very cool. I like Vermin, and Nick Spencer's used him as well. More recently, what was it? Was it in Hunted where they're like multiple Vermin? He actually multiplied them.
Oh yeah, the Spider-Man story. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. But he's always a scary character for me, especially I just remember from Kraven's Last Hunt. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Did anyone ever read The Child Within? It's the sequel to Kraven's Last Hunt. It was a Spectacular Spider-Man thing, and they really, I mean, JMD Mateus really gets into Vermin's backstory. There's child abuse in that, background.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It just seems like in the 90s, it was a lot of people just suffer this horrible abuse and child
messed up.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, Traveler basically is just like transforms, vermin, and then he pops them outside. He's like, no,
Yeah, what was the point of that?
I don't know. Well, it's like Edward, the guy who had been transformed into vermin, had finally been cured. Yeah, I don't know, but like Traveler like changes them back, but then he like again, it's like
Lets him go.
studying, the dark side of humanity. But
Yeah.
I don't know what that whole one page. I think that's the problem. People's problem with Judas Traveler. It's just like, what's the point of him? And they never really fully explained it.
Yeah. He seems a little bit muddled, the character.
Yeah, because like I said, they painted him as all powerful. I think they were trying to make it, he's this ancient being. But then once Demetrius left, they're like, yeah, he's just like a psychotic psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we get Peter wandering the halls of Ravencroft, basically.
Yeah.
I am the spider. Should I save these criminals?
But he's suffering. He's like, 1,000 thoughts crawl like insects through his mind. He's breaking.
Mm-hmm. And he sees the chameleon, who's basically still nuts after their last encounter because Peter went after him once he found out. I mean, it was Harry Osborn's idea, but like he gave it to the chameleon to send the fake parents. The chameleon was, the chameleon didn't know his identity, but he's like, there must be some connection between Peter Parker and Spider-Man with the amount of pictures of the man.
Yeah.
King. That's me and Lilith's joke. Peter Parker, king of the selfies. Taking selfies decades is really the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, chameleon completely insane, but then he runs in the car in his cell. No parameters on this one's madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, I guess Judas Traveler's in Peter's head, like listening to this whole thing.
Yeah. So is this one's not Demetrius, is it? Because it's very maybe I guess it's.
I think it is, yeah, because I think he took over. Yeah, it is Demetrius, yeah, because
okay.
They were amazing.
Yeah. Because you can kind of tell the whole kind of mind games. He loves that sort of writing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this team of like Demetrius and then of course Mark Bagley art. Yes, and then we see Mary Jane at the airport leaving for Pittsburgh to visit her sister.
Yeah, that was a big decision, and we'll see later. Like she kind of regrets it, and full moon, love it. Full moon.
Look, Ray, and she gets on the plane and it flies into the night.
True. Where's Mark? Anyway.
Moon Knight joke, people. And then we see Ben Riley.
He's in first class. He's a billionaire, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Stephen Grant. Yeah.
Ben Riley at the hospital visiting Aunt May, and then the doctor walks in, and it's like, Mr. Parker. And it's like, yeah, that's me.
Sure, yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness he cut his hair. I mean, otherwise it would have been like, wow, your hair really grew in the hours since I saw you.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's right, because I don't think the doctor had met Peter yet. So it's like, oh hey, Mr. Parker. Because Ben was like, wait a minute, does Peter know this woman? And then it's like, oh, I recognize you from your wife's description. It's like, oh yes.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Oh Lord, and then we get Peter crawling through Ravencroft some more, and then we get
who is this guy? The scryer.
Again, it was like he was. They first started painting him as like another ancient guy, I guess, who like hung out with
another one
so often. Yeah, for the Clone Saga, they painted it where it was like it was like a group of guys in costume. They were kind of like a cult, and I think.
Okay.
Once they do the big reveal of the Clone Saga, they reveal that that the Scryers were working for the mastermind behind the real mastermind behind the Clone Saga.
Oh. Okay, so they are a kind of a continuous thread in this whole Clone Saga.
Yeah. It just like pops up basically like he's watching. It's like,
Okay.
I told you, many shadowy people watching people from
Many
pops and
be a good drinking game. So
Yeah.
any excuse for the wine, huh, Ray? Then Peter's like encounters Traveler. Who are you? Why should he be alone?
I like this actually. This is a really cool, and the way that Bagley draws it, the Traveler is just taking all the hits, and his face is just expressionless. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I know. I love that. I love that panel there where he just has like Spider-Man by the neck with one hand, the other hand he's just like stroking that beard, like, you're an interesting one there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like basically in Peter's mind, and he's like, wait a minute. And he's like, wait, there's two, thinking there's two of you. Because what he said, like, he finds some hidden truth that maybe you're not even aware of. So I'm assuming at this point, if their whole plans are like, oh wait, you're a clone? Wait, because they were gonna make Ben Reilly the real one. Because he's like, He basically like just starts laughing at Spider-Man. He kicks Traveler in the face. Don't do this to me. I'm not some joke. I'm not some laboratory experiment. But yeah, he's basically letting loose on Traveler. Oh, looks like get a little blood or something from Traveler, but
where? Oh yeah. At his mouth. Yeah.
But besides that, it doesn't look like he's really bothered by it. It's like,
no,
and utterly broken.
Looks like he enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. And basically, seems like he's driving Spider-Man insane.
Yeah. The mind games take over.
And Scryer's basically like, what? Yeah, what now?
Yeah.
Did they die? And Traveler's like, no, not yet. Or the little experiment isn't over. He's like, you see, when I looked into his mind, I discovered there's another one.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's right. 2. So Chakra has to go out and send another message.
Yes. Yeah, she has a very kind of limited role, doesn't she? She's kind of just a bit of a messenger.
Yeah. But tempting Ben Reilly more than Peter. She's like, hey, Judas Traveler has Peter, and you can let Spider-Man die and just take over his life.
Yeah, that's a really really interesting. I think a really nice point to bring, and because it really does raise questions for Ben Reilly, because he wants that life. It's been set up like he really wants it. This is a good chance to do it.
But yeah, like I said, I think the original plan was to make.
Sorry, that was my alarm.
Wake up, Matt! It's time to wake up.
I know.
But yeah, the original plan was to make Peter the clone, and I think this was another stunt that a lot of people, some of the people at Marvel didn't like a married Spider-Man, so they're like, "Hey, make Peter the clone, then we can have Ben Reilly as the real unmarried Spider-Man."
Yes.
But they always want like a. That's why I always say bring the marriage back. They always want like a young, carefree, single Spider-Man. You got that in Miles Morales now, so let Peter get married again.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Oh Lord! And now we get to Ray's favorite issue, Spider-Man 51.
Well, this one, I just want one last thing before we leave Amazing Spider-Man. Just this was the last issue with the classic logo.
Oh.
The next one turns into jagged Spider-Man. This is the nice arch to it.
Yeah.
So it's just a little. They're trying to change things up a little bit, make it more modern for the time. But yeah, $3.95, different logo entirely, straight, all caps, the Amazing, and then sort of it looks like the sort of the Spider-Man 2099 logo, but when he battles Puma,
yeah.
But yeah, I need a crit.
But yes, let's get it to 51.
Yeah, that cover, just Ben Reilly in the mask and gloves, swinging that around the feet. But no, this is the those are the first issue because those other flashbacks came later. But this is the first issue where he actually reveals he's calling himself Ben Reilly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yep. Straight off the bat, yeah.
Yep. Calling a comatose Aunt May.
Yeah, she's not going to hear it anyway.
No.
That's what he's thinking. She flatlines here, doesn't she? Oh no, she doesn't. There was a bit of a that's right.
Yeah, the monitor just got unplugged.
The monitor just got unplugged. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So it's basically just Ben talking to Aunt May, and it's just like, you kind of raised me, not that you did, but I have the memories, and you wouldn't want me to let Peter die. So, see, the cover looks funny, but as he he puts the mask and gloves on and swings off, he's like he's like crawling on walls with those boots on. It's like, as funny as the bare look, it'd be
he is barefoot in the cover. Yeah.
It would be more realistic to have the bare feet, because I don't know if that color's working through those boots.
Yeah. Also, at a glance at the cover, it kind of looks like maybe because of the colors of it, he looks a little Iron Fisty, just with the I don't know. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, more mind games. Ravencroft, the strange man with the glasses.
Yeah.
Judas. No.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to say, sorry, just one quick thing with the Aunt May thing. It's a great little technique to have someone comatose in stories, because you can flesh out people's thoughts and just have them talking to them and, reflecting.
Do a recap. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good way. But sorry, back at Ravencroft. Mr. Nacht. Is it? Mr. Nacht.
Yeah, basically his note taker, his stenographer. Yeah. Yes, take notes.
He's a little bit of a
egomaniac. Record every thought.
Copious notes.
Right. Yeah. Then Ben shows up, and of course the force field lets him in, still keeping everyone else.
Yes. Okay, yes. So they've got the second Spider-Man now enters the scene. And this is where we see a bit of Medea and Boone.
Yeah.
Oh, thoroughly forgettable characters, I reckon. Just
henchman 1 and henchwoman 1. That's basically what they are.
Yeah. So dangerous. She needs a big 90s laser gun. Yes.
Yeah.
But it seems that
the force field looks like a big Mysterio helmet too, with the smoke around it.
Oh, it does too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's because the top of Ravencroft, that big dome. Yeah. That's what they should have did. They should, at the end of the Clone Saga, they should have revealed Traveler was just like Mysterio or something.
That would be cool. Yeah. And so Spider-Man's kind of going through his own mental battles still.
Yeah. Seeing his enemies, his friends, his family, and then basically Peter Parker talking to Spider-Man in his own head.
Yeah. Flashing back to some Sinister Six battles. Right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Nice. Kraven, Vulture.
Former Avenger Sandman, Doc Ock, Green Goblin.
Oh, yes.
I
like Sandman. Sandman's cool. Yeah, anyway.
I do too. Yeah. I like the way the Green Goblin, he looks a little different in this, kind of. But I kind of dig it. Yeah.
Oh, look, he's thinking of Gwen, but not his wife. Oh,
jeez.
Oh, my Lord. And then just the battle outside with Ben Reilly. I love him dealing with that backpack just hanging off his back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice touch. Just slinging it over one shoulder. But, you can't get any more 90s with this fight as well. Just reminds me.
And she has to claw off the bottom of his mask too to get that classic McFarlane Spider-Man look,
Yeah.
To bring it back to the Spider-Man adjective-less days. But
yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know if it was this symbolism because it's like in his mind, Peter Parker's mask gets ripped, but in real life, Ben Reilly's mask gets ripped at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's a way to differentiate them, but the Ben Reilly is still clearly wearing pants, a jacket, and a backpack. So it's a little different.
Pretty distinctive. No, but I like
But
it.
they're sort of on the same page at the end, but it seems like Traveler still has something up his sleeve.
Yeah, because Peter beats his inner demons as Ben beats Boone and Medea.
Yeah. Yes.
Tyler Perry.
Boone and Medea for the rest of the days. All right.
Looks like Tyler Perry. And Judas basically telling Peter, "I'm gonna probe you further."
A lot of alien abductions going on at that point.
Yeah.
Go
but
work
then
on
the Spider-Man determination kind of shines through, and he just breaks it all.
Yeah,
that strange the strange contraption he's got on as well, which is, I guess, it's just restraints.
Yeah, around his neck and back.
Yeah, from Ravencroft, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say a Ravencroft thing, but yeah, he breaks out of that.
And the conclusion, higher ground.
Yeah, because it's both the Spider-Man face to face with Traveler at the end of part.
Yeah. I mean, at this point as well, the way that Traveler's been set up, he is quite, as you say, all powerful. I don't know, I was reading this and you kind of wonder how these two guys, what are they going to do to him, without a little help? Is there going to be like a cameo appearance or a special guest? You know how Spidey always has special guests over? But kind of left it up to the very last issue to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I just love in this issue. Yeah, they come, that Spider-Man come face to face, and they're just like staring each other down. It's just
you can see the anger even under the masks. Like, I can't believe this. It's hard to put aside your differences when you're both exactly the same.
That's right. Yeah.
So what's I mean, wait a minute. They're face to face with Traveler, and then I guess he just knocks him out with his mind powers.
Well, sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's not really explained, but they're on the ground. And then Peter all of a sudden gets this idea that Ben's part of this whole Traveler entourage.
Oh, yeah. Well, while they're out, remember we were saying Chakra really doesn't have a role. He's like, here, go mail this letter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Which comes out later on, but yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, Peter and Ben wake up, and yeah, Peter's like, tell me about your boss, the Traveler.
Yeah.
He was the one who must have dressed you up to look like Peter Parker.
And he says it again here as well, stop calling me Parker. I'm Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Yeah.
And then they're fighting, and Peter's like, well, Ben proves he's the clone because Peter's like, I haven't faked anyone out with this maneuver since junior high. And he's like, that's a lie. You were in high school when you were bitten by that radioactive spider. Then he wants to know why Peter's so bitter and angry now.
Yeah.
That's when we just get a faceless mob. Yeah.
A huge slugfest on its way here. Enough of them fighting each other. Time to see them in action fighting a horde of someone.
Yeah, I just love. I guess Ravencroft. I'm glad they supply all their inmates with like random 2x4s and like lock handles. Yeah.
Geez, one of them's got a lamp. It looks like a lamp upside down.
I know. Steel pipe. Yeah, I know. Because these are all like, I guess, non-powered inmates. So yeah, Peter and Ben are just going through them.
Yeah.
Your aunt and uncle didn't be some dark vigilante.
And another lurker, take another swig. Anyone? Mr. Narked again.
Oh, I love this line from Ben. If you really hate your life so much, give it up. I'll take it gladly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
And again, Judas Traveler dealing with the mail.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was doing identity thievery. It was more like identity coercion. You know, give me your identity. I'll take care of that. Letters, neck braces, the FBI, police outside doing nothing.
As usual. Were they just falling asleep now? Yeah.
Yeah.
As you do.
Falling asleep. Yeah. Or then we get one page of Mary Jane on a plane getting airsick. What?
Yeah. Well, she has the middle seat. She's got a guy with a newfangled, very odd-looking laptop next door.
What is
It's like a giant keyboard and a Game Boy screen. That's what it looks like.
Logging onto the intranet.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's a dial-up cord going out from the bottom of the plane.
A big long cord dangling from the plane.
Yeah. Skyways Express.
Hang up down there.
Yeah. My stomach. Ah. She runs away.
No, she's like, I'm going to be sick.
Just a little check-in, just to plant some seeds for later.
That's right.
Plant some seeds, no pun intended.
Oh, you mean like Peter did? Okay.
America. Well, yeah. We'll get there.
Mac. Oh, I can't. Good thing Ray missed that comment.
Ray, yes.
The one page Mary Jane thing, Matt was like, planting some seeds, I'm like, oh, like Peter did.
For later.
Back at Ravencroft, the two Spider-Men are still running around.
Wild Whip. This is does anyone remember this person? I don't remember this.
This was like his first and only appearance because it was like, it's like, oh, this is one of the guys Ben Reilly fought on the road. Maybe we'll tell you about this.
Right. Oh, yes, of course, it's him that's saying it. Yep.
Yeah, he almost looks like a Joker knockoff.
Yeah. And crossed with Indiana Jones. And then he immediately gets roasted by Carnage. That loser.
I love Wild Whip. A man with a mask locked me away.
Yeah.
I like how
a Spider-Man mask and a leather coat. That was you.
I like how both of the Spider-Men evade like the whip. And then Ben Reilly saying, geez, saying Peter Parker's a lot better at avoiding it. He's Mr. Casual.
Well, yeah, because Peter does this every day. Ben, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little rusty. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah. Yeah, he always says that, doesn't he? He's a little rusty.
Yeah. But he rises to the occasion because he's working alongside the original or his counterpart, we'll just say, since the confusion between who's the original, who's the real.
It gets too much.
Yeah, too much. And then we see Carnage making some symbiote Wolverine things, and then a giant mallet and a very Quasar-esque copyright.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
come on.
I was thinking, you can't do that.
That's right. Copyright trademarked.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
We got to drop Will.
Yeah, Will. Come on. Yeah.
But that would have been funny. Yeah, when Carnage is growing the claws, if they just would have did a schnick, and it's like Wolverine, and it's like, oh no, it's Carnage.
Yeah.
That's the only way this would be more 90s if like Wolverine showed up here.
Yeah.
Or the Punisher, or
Yeah, on the back of Ghost Rider's motorcycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they're fighting Carnage, and Ben Reilly's like, "Oh my lord!"
Yeah, that's a big jump up in competition from a guy with a whip against maybe one of the most formidable foes of the modern Spider-Man era.
But once again, he's, I'm so out of shape.
Yeah.
But I love their teamwork. The double drop kick to the head, kind of. That's enough. That's enough for Carnage back then.
That is, yeah.
civilians. Yeah.
That's it. That's enough. And he's still smiling, unconscious. He's like his jewelry grin.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, the kick is cool. I mean, a lot of times Sal, I guess he didn't do it this issue. Usually, you ever see Spider-Man give someone like a big red cross and send him flying across the room? He does that
upside down, backwards. Yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess because they're both coming from different angles and it's going into the head, that's got to do some damage if you're normally sending someone flying and then they're just boom, points of impact. Yeah, that's why he's smiling. He's so concussed. It's just his brain is somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, two super guys with super strength kicking you in the head.
Yeah.
Can't feel good. Yeah. And one of them is wearing boots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Steel caps.
Then they run after Traveler, and because Traveler looks like he's just walking out of the building all casual.
Doesn't bat an eyelid. He's off on his own little world. And I love
here's the setup. Yeah, Peter's like, "Oh, I'll take Traveler. You take the henchman." And Ben's like, "Yeah, I got to score this little Buddha Medea," and he dives into
their escape limo.
Their escape limo.
Yeah. The chauffeur's still there. Where do you want to go, sir?
Straight to Hades.
Oh, yeah, because Ben dives in. He's like, wait a minute, there's no one in here. Spider sense.
Gone.
And then I guess Peter chases Traveler back in the Ravencroft.
Yeah, and then he just he kind of just loses interest and disappears.
Oh yeah, he knocks Spider-Man out again. It just
with some telepathic or who knows, again off screen.
Traveler goes traveling.
Yeah.
And everyone outside wakes up and comes back into Ravencroft, and it's like, they're all basically trying to figure out what's going on. All the inmates are back in their cells, and
yeah. So what happened here? Did Traveler? Did he bring everyone back? Because did Carnage lie then, or did he turn back time or something to revert everything back to?
Again, at this point, it's like, oh, does he have the time travel abilities? Yeah. But again, at the end of the Clone Saga, I think it's just like, oh, he has these psychic abilities. So I guess he just made Carnage think he killed a bunch of people.
Okay.
That's why he's and even unconscious Kona, because Carnage was like, oh, I killed all these people.
Yeah, right. I know.
His dream is loving it. Yeah.
Yep, that's what he lives for.
And then the letter postmarked a week ago. It's like, wait, Dr. Traveler said he didn't show up, but
yeah.
Strange sort of epilogue.
It is, yeah. It's a bit
going and
they get away in their limousine. And then play some heavy metal. That's a heavy metal ending.
Yeah. Yeah, Spider-Man swings off, and then the lone figure. You see the ring, Ben Reilly.
The ring again.
Well, the exploding limousine. He's like, oh, maybe Ben Reilly's dead. So yeah,
nice. It ties everything up, but no.
Yeah.
Does it?
Well,
does it?
Well, it's like for the next two storylines we cover. Yeah, Ben Reilly's kind of on his own in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the old escape hatch in the limo. It's always
trap door.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of this one? This story?
Yeah. I enjoyed the Lost Years a lot more. I think I would give this maybe a C+. I think. Yeah, I mean, I am a fan of the 90s and stuff, but I don't know. I'm a fan of James DeMatteis, and the art was pretty decent, but there was just a lot of, I don't know. I wasn't interested in Judas Traveler at all, so I didn't like him. I didn't like his entourage. The most interesting bits were understandably Ben Reilly and Spider-Man moments, and that was when they were together. That was good. But yeah, probably like a C+.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I probably agree with you there. Probably C+. I don't know if I'll bump it up to a B-, but I mean, it's Judas Traveler is basically just a plot device, really to tempt the Spider-Man and get this whole ball rolling and stuff.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I think that it didn't have to be 4 issues. I think they just did that so it could be 1 in each of the Spider-Man titles.
Yeah.
And I felt like I liked it as a kid, and it doesn't hold up as much to re-examination. But it just felt like there were cool elements, but it didn't really pay off how I don't know how I would have liked it to. I know it's not all about the fans; they're telling different stories and stuff. But yeah. I got kind of a kick out of rereading it, but I agree. I liked the last episode, so go back a month and listen to the material that we covered on that, because it was a little bit more fresh and new, and I didn't see that before, so it could be just my eyes, I guess.
And it's just that, and I think the last one was a lot more simpler. There weren't all these moving parts, like Traveler and all the color and everything. Yeah. This one was so 90s.
It was, yeah.
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 All right. Anything else?
I got nothing else.
So Matt and I can start our day, and Ray can end his.
Yeah. No. All good. Just great that we're starting this journey. Looking forward to more Ben Reilly. It's an interesting character. Like, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait till to see a sweatshirt debut and the cutoff shirt over it. Yeah.
I believe that's the next Scarlet Spider episode we'll be doing. He gets the suit, and we got Carnage this episode. Next,
we did.
He gets the suit, and I believe Venom next time.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, his first opponent.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I got to bow out a minute early, so see you later.
Oh, hey,
at Matt Kona.
I was gonna say,
jumping the gun in the intro. Yeah. MATTKONA. Look me up. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all that. And I'll see you guys next month, and I'll see you next week on the Quantum Zone, perhaps too.
No worries.
So, for the listeners, see you guys. You'll hear from me. Awesome. All right. Good night. Good morning.
See you, Matt. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right. So yes, next episode, the Exile returns from Web of Spider-Man and the adjectiveless Spider-Man. And then meanwhile, Lilith and I will be still covering more alien costume stuff. So check that all out. Send your thoughts, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Follow us on all the social media, all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt to Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. And use the Amazon link right here in the show notes for Southgate Media Group. Send some money to Rob because, believe it or not, these cost money to put up. So support your favorite podcasts. And can
listeners just send money to me as well?
I was going to say, speaking of podcasts, Ray.
No, I was just saying, look, just send money to me. Like, no reason, no rhyme, just do it.
I'll take it. Yes.
Sorry to cut you off there, Phil. If you like what you hear and stuff, you can catch me on Into the Night Moon Knight podcast, Twitter handle @ITK Moon Knight, Facebook.com/ITK Moon Knight. Also, I co-host a Superman podcast, both of which, the Moon Knight and Superman podcast, Phil has dropped in some juicy feedback. So if you want to hear Phil's voice on those shows, just check out the latest episodes. Last Sons of Krypton, Twitter handle LSK Podcast, and Facebook.com/LSK Podcast.
All right. Yes, check those all out. Fine quality programming. And all right, let's get out of here. Like I said, come back. Well, next week, Lilith and I will be back. Our alien costume. They come back in 1 month for the Exile returns. And Rowley gets a suit and a name. Not a name you like, but pure 90s. Once upon these pure 90s. Until then, swing on back.